Okay, so I'm going to Acquire the Fire this year, but it wasn't always that simple. Now, I just felt like I had to post a video on here about my story of going to Acquire the Fire. Started out as just an idea. My best friend and I were talking on the phone, and she says, "You know what? Acquire the Fire is really fun. You should ask your parents if you can come." And I said, "Steph, they're gonna say no." And she said, "Oh, come on, just try it." So I go in there, I asked my mom, I said, "Hey Mom, Stephanie wants to know if I can go to Acquire the Fire this year." And she said, "I'll think about it." That's where all the crazy, weird stuff started happening. First, they wanted to know when we were going, who was going to be there, how much did it cost, how long was the event, and so on and so forth. So I asked Stephanie all these questions, and she told me, so I went and told them. It was going to be in April. We were going with the youth group. Stephanie's mom was going to be there, and it was going to be on Saturday. Then they had 5 million other questions that I didn't know the answer to. So I had to call Stephanie again and tell her what the questions were. So then she would tell me all the answers, and I would go to my mom and dad and tell them the answers. And they'd have at least 5 questions for each answer that I gave them. 5 questions for each answer. You do the math. So then finally we just decided that my dad would talk to Stephanie. My mom and dad would talk to Stephanie. So they started talking, and Stephanie explained stuff, and then they found out that Stephanie's mom wasn't going to be there for the actual concert. And so they wanted to know when she was leaving, why, who we were going to be with while we were there, all the little safety precautions, and eventually the answer came down to one solid yes. So that is why I'm going to Acquire the Fire this year. And you tell me your story.